Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know if you're new to the channel, I like to go deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play as karmic themes. This will allow you to see things from a different perception, which a lot of times is healing all in itself. But you'll be able to see why your person's really doing what they're doing. Because when you're dealing with people that have shadows, spiritual blocks, they create personas, illusions, facades, right? Because they don't like who they are. So again, in order to make people perceive, they try to create the illusion. The problem is that we're energy beings. So you can always feel when a person is authentic and when a person isn't. You can also tell by a person's life, are they authentic or are they not, by the results. So again, the proof is always in the pudding. So understand that we know that the person cares. We just don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And we don't understand why it's so triggering or why we seem to keep experiencing the same types of karmic experiences. And karmic just means learn. However, we do associate karma with negative because karmic retribution, karmic retribution is when you inherit somebody else's bad choices and bad behaviors. And I'm kind of feeling before I jump into this reading that someone out there needs to be careful again because somebody is going through some, again, karma and they're looking for shelter, looking for help, and so I'm just putting it out there. I don't know why that just came to me, but Spirit likes to always give me a little tidbit before we jump into the reading. So then we'll see actually how it all fits into place. All right, you want to enter into winning a free reading with me? Got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Again, that's important when we're looking at spiritual blocks, shadows, because we'll see how healing really is. It's like when you're doing healing, it's like peeling an onion. They always say that. You think that you're finished and you're never finished because you get to another layer. And so when you understand the core reason, then you can understand why the person's doing what they're doing. And then you can actually see why you're being triggered from it. And then where your karmic patterns are. What are the karmic themes that you keep living? Because again, you don't want to keep living in a karmic theme that keeps you stuck in a place of disempowerment, a place of fear, a place of limitation. Again, that'll cut your energy off and it'll create a lot of negative karma. That's why. All right. Want to enter into winning a free reading? Got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. Any important information, including the word of the video, will always be in the description box below. Now, if I've chosen you to get the reading, all readings are done live, okay? And tell me when you email me, because that's what you need to do. You need to email me. You need to say, hey, I know you from the Scorpio channel, or you know what I mean? A lot of times people just jump in and tell me their story. The whole thing is you're not supposed to tell me anything. Remember, I'm a medium, so I don't need you to tell me anything. It's that spirit is telling you what the problem is. It's again not about your life story and because then we get caught up in the story of what happened, which is a natural thing that happens because we get emotional, and emotional creates a lot of, we want to share it, we want to understand it. But what you'll realize is if you let me channel for you, then your questions are answered, and then whatever the homework or the protocol, the healing protocol is that you're being told to do, you won't question it, procrastinate about it, because you already know that spirit already knows your problem and gave you the answer. So you can't finagle it. You can't try to manipulate it. Remember, the energy of the universe is the same energy as God, which is the same energy of unconditional love. It's an energy that flows within us, or is needs to flow through us. A lot of times if we're blocked up, it won't flow through us. Spiritual blocks held in the mind, they manifest in the body, because your body's your mind's faithful servant. So understanding that once you heal your mind, a lot of times you can heal yourself on such a deep DNA level, because what you're doing is, once you change your habits and your behaviorisms, you're shutting certain DNAs on and off. Sickness and disease is only 5% inherited. We inherit the behaviorisms through what we do, through, again, our habits, our behaviorism. So it's important to know, if you're someone that's suffering from saying, well, my grandparents dealt with this, or my mother dealt with this, or my father had this and now I have it. Again, look at your behaviorisms, and that you can actually heal your life, because that's what this channel is all about. It's about healing your situations. But in that, a lot of times you can shape shift the situation altogether, which is inevitably what you're trying to do. You're just trying to do it by telling that person, by trying to communicate with somebody that's probably avoidant and is not going to listen. So it's like trying to put the square peg in the circle hole. So doing your shadow work really will transform your life. So you don't need to tell me the whole story. So again, just tell me, hi, my name is so-and-so. It's, again, I was a winner. You found me on the Scorpio channel. I'm available this day, this day, this day, at this time, this time, this time. That's all I need to know. And then I will send you a link back with the time, the exact time that we agreed on, so that the day you won't have to say, where's the link? I can't find it. I don't know how to get on. It's right there. All you got to do is click on it and it'll take you right in. All right. I needed to put that out there, because sometimes people write me like pages. And I'm like, if you're getting a reading, you shouldn't need to like tell all that. All right. Let's jump in. Even though that was long, I realize that. My apologies. But I have to say what I have to say. I know it's been a hot minute since I've been on, because a lot has been going on in life. So my apologies, I've missed you guys. The word of the video is disappointment. Disappointment. Well, I feel like you're connected to someone that knows that you're disappointed in them and they're disappointed in themselves. And I feel like the world, almost like when I tap into this person, I feel like almost like the world is stopped. The world is stopped. And like, so they've had time to think, and had a lot of time to think. And what they see is that they're seeing things from a different perception. I feel like this person is used to being in very codependent relationships, attachment, very needy, very needy. And so they, dealt with you almost like you were going to be needy. And they projected that, you were jealous. This person tends to be jealous. You're not a jealous person. I feel like you asked this person if they wanted to go to lunch or dinner, wanted to do something, again, because you felt that they liked you, but they always came across a little bit insecure. So you were trying to help the relationship along, I feel like, and this person got triggered by it. And like almost acted like they didn't care. And then because they acted like they didn't care and you said something, then they acted like you were jealous. And so this person acted like really negatively towards you, like, and created like a negative vibe with you like that, where now I feel like you see them like you see them as like they have a big ego, and actually you see them as a narcissist, because it's that you see what they do. It's like, I feel like when you first met this person, you perceived that they were someone different. You perceived that they were someone that was kind, someone that was deep, someone that was sensitive, and someone that you had a spiritual and emotional connection to, and you thought that they really cared. And then what you saw was that this person doesn't really care about anybody, that they like and like to run around with a lot of different people and lie to everyone. And I feel that this person perceived that you also were somebody different when they met you. And so now it's almost like I'm seeing, I'm seeing the wheel of fortune. And you know how the wheel goes up and then it goes down, like we have high points in our life and we have low points, like what goes around comes around. Well, this person treated you like, again, you were an option, acted like you were always going to be there. And I feel like them playing the cha-cha a little bit, like coming in and out of your life, like I said, where you just thought that they were insecure. Well, now you're seeing that you weren't insecure. You wanted me to tell you how I felt, but you didn't want to tell me how you felt. So you acted insecure. You played a little game, but you didn't want to do anything. You wanted me to tell you. And then you took that information and you rubbed my face in it, almost like, oh, you care about me so much. Oh, okay. So now you know what? I know that you're a good option, but I'm going to run around with all these other options. I'm going to, again, only really care about myself. And so you're seeing this person like completely different. And this person knows it. And I feel like they have anxiety. And I feel like at one point, you really did care about this person. You really did like this person. And they gave you anxiety every time that they were talking to somebody else, every time that they would come close and then back away. Like it was like, what did I say? Did I say something? Like you became like almost like, I don't want to say like obsessed, but like concerned, overly concerned with why they were acting the way that they were acting. And I believe that you tried to accommodate this person because you really thought that they were insecure. Now it's like what happened is that this person played the game and you caught them. And I feel like they didn't really want, like, instead of them fixing this connection, they really sat back and wanted to see what was going to happen. And I think that that's very triggering. And what happened is like, I feel like you just got tired. You got tired of them, like, not giving you anything emotionally. That it affected you. And that this person, I feel like, was looking to try to get more from you. And then what happened is that they acted like they had like that they weren't into you anymore. They acted again like they gave you even less, almost like punishment. So again, this affected the connection. It affected the emotional connection. And without it, that affects like how much you want to be passionate with this person. And this person got tired of the fact that it feels like you're holding back from me. Like they're playing a game to see how you feel. And they're like, oh, so you really have deep feelings for me. Oh, so then I don't really feel like I need to do that much for you. And I feel like you're going to give it up. The thing is, this person didn't realize that without the emotional connection, you weren't going to give this person anything. You're not listening to their words. So then it became a power struggle, which again was triggering for you because you're like, okay, like I thought that you liked me. I thought that you were mature. It's like now I'm not seeing you as mature. I'm seeing you as very immature. Yeah, like because of your manipulation, because that's really what it is. It's like you're going to act like you're not attracted to me anymore. You're going to act like, that you have other options. You're going to run around. You're going to hold back. You're going to punish me because I'm not accepting your little breadcrumbs. And so, really, what you want for your little breadcrumbs is you want passion. This person pays a lot of attention to the physical aspects of a relationship, but not enough of building an emotional connection. And the irony is, I feel as if, again, you're someone that's highly sensitive that really needs that emotional connection. You are not a player. You are not a surface person. This person, I feel like, runs around, gets a lot of attention from a lot of people, but the only people that they can really hold the attention of is people that aren't really bringing anything to the table. There are options. This person has options, but they're not really good options. They're just options where here they thought that you were someone else. They, thought that you were going to act like everyone else. And this person's dealing with it is a bunch of liars. There's a bunch of people that are surface. What do you want me to tell you? I'll tell you whatever you want to know. The same energy as them. Like goes to like. You just happen to not be like that. So you might say, well, why did I wind up in that? And Spirit says there's only two energies, love and fear. So you have trauma, you have things that need to be integrated. You had things that needed to be healed and integrated. That's why, not because you're a player. You might have said, well, I really thought that this connection, and Spirit says, well, you again saw that this person was manipulating, but if they weren't manipulating, you would have given too much of your time, too much of your attention to this person. So again, that shows the imbalance is what the universe is showing, saying like that person that from day one, you're giving this person the benefit of the doubt. It's like where really they didn't deserve it because there was too many things. It's okay to give a person the benefit of the doubt once, twice, but this person kept doing it. They played the cha-cha. Like I said, they would come in, give a little bit, and then like go back. It was like constant, like in and out. And I feel like you never dealt with anyone like that before. Never had a relationship like that before. That was deep, but then also a person that, so you assume that they were insecure, and that's what they showed you. That's what they played it as. They downplayed, they played that they're humble so that you'll give them information, but then they use that information to manipulate, to get what they want. Only intuitively, you're like, I can still see emotionally because you're emotionally intelligent. And again, that's important to you. So that's something you look for in a relationship. And that person is used to people not really knowing what they want, or maybe not believing that they can have it, not believing that they're deserving of having it, maybe feeling like it doesn't exist because they've never had it. But you actually get that by respecting yourself, where you respect yourself. This person does not respect themselves and only attracts people that don't normally respect themselves. But Spirit says by you giving this person too much time in the beginning of the relationship, it's like you're not respecting yourself because they're not respecting you. You just didn't notice it because, again, of the spiritual connection. So again, you're looking at this person, and of course you'd be disappointed. Of course you would. It's like, and you feel like, oh, for a long time, it's like, so you don't really even close the door. Like, you're like, I still feel like, do you have an attachment to like your past? Like that there's still an emotional connection between you and your ex. You say that you don't like this person, but you wouldn't be so angry. You wouldn't, again, like blame everything on this person. it's again, when people are angry and they haven't let go, but if you're so angry, it's because you still have feelings. And if you're not giving to me and you're holding back, it's because you're talking to multiple people, which I know, but then on top of it, you never really shut the door on a past all the way. So you continue to like keep doors open to your past so that you always have like a way back, which is extremely manipulative. So again, like that the emotional connection, because obviously you're not giving me what I need, you're holding back from me. And you're not really giving to anyone else either, but you haven't closed the door on the past. So you're holding on to resentment with the person from the past, but you're not willing to 100% let go. So you're punishing everyone. It's like you saw this person in a completely different light. And I feel like you thought that this person was like an upstanding person, and what you're seeing is that their character is for the shit. Yeah, and then what happens is they're never accountable. It's not like you haven't called them out on it. So you're like, this connection really can't go anywhere because you're never going to be accountable. So then this person thought, oh, you're just saying things. You think I haven't heard this shit before? I know what I do. Of course I do this. I'm talking to 80 different people. I thought you were a little naive that you didn't notice that. But I've heard it all before. That's why I never really closed any doors. I always got a way to run back to because I never really, closed, and I got my hand in a lot of different cookie jars. So it doesn't really matter. And so this person again is a avoidant. They're not given to anybody, and that's what makes them a narcissist, because again, they only care about themselves. So now, like I said, things have slowed down for this person where they're sitting in a different space, I feel like. So I want to see on a deep level, do they see the situation any differently? Do they see what they did? It's again, I feel like they see synchronicities everywhere, 1111. So even if this person isn't like contacting you or acting, I feel like the universe is trying to tell this person. The universe, and so subconsciously, like they can't help it, but they don't want to think about you, is what I feel like, because they don't want to be accountable. But it's again, there's a spiritual connection, there's a deep emotional connection, but this person isn't happy because, hey, you're not controlling them, and you're making, like, it's almost like I feel like you look at them with disgust and they know it, that you're disappointed because you're like, you're not even who you say you are. It's like somebody has control. You feel like that ex has control over them, which is kind of like a form of love. They're just angry and resentful. And because they're going to like ruin everybody else's life in the wake. And here it is. You thought that you had a spiritual connection with them. And here they are pulling you into the same energy as all the other stupid people that they're running around with, because they can't really be in a relationship with somebody until they fully shut the door with that ex. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours in the 3D. I'm afraid I can lose myself in the relationship. So they have, I feel like commitment issues. This person is extremely codependent. They come into the relationship and they again don't give anything. They gaslight, they manipulate, they love bomb to get what they want. They're real narcissists. And then again, they back away. They do that cha-cha thing where they're out and they're talking to somebody else. And so they're very codependent. They need to have the energy they need to get the energy from multiple people because they don't know how to generate it themselves. They don't do it for themselves. So this is what this person does. This is what this person's hobbies, their interests are. This is what they do in their free time. So they won't be strong because that's not growing yourself. That's using other people. So that's the issue. This person says, yeah, we have a connection, but I'm not really strong within myself. But what you see is that they don't work to to make themselves strong within the relationship. It's like they know that they would have to change. Please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. So they want you to come back to them because they have a big ego and they're afraid of the consequences. They don't want to really change. They don't want to take accountability. But do they have feelings for you? Yes. But those feelings make this person go too deep. And what I see is they don't want to go deep. They're too afraid to go deep. They're not really who they claim that they are. Remember, letting you get close, you're going to see exactly who they are. They can't continue to create the illusions and the facades that they don't care. They would actually care a lot if they got rid of every single other person because there is a spiritual connection. They're preventing that from happening. And then they're saying, well, I'm not strong within myself. It's like, clearly you wouldn't. Are they going to do anything? Are they going to do anything? Are they going to do anything? Yeah, unchanged. At this time, the situation is not that they're not going to do anything. And that's exactly what I felt. They want you to do it. They want you to do it. So you have to say, well, then what was the whole point? What's the whole point? And Spirit says, again, the person was not giving you time and attention right from the get. So being that they weren't right from the get-go, then that was a sign for you. And so, and that sign for you was that you shouldn't have just said, again, oh, I'm going to try and make them more comfortable and abandon yourself. And where this person thought that they didn't need to respect you, give you anything, give you any time. They were running around. If they actually gave you time, then they would have seen. And really, if you gave this person the time they gave you time, you wouldn't have wanted them. Because what you see is yeah, there's a connection, but that connection is not a twin flame. This is a past life karmic mate. So again, someone that, yes, you knew from a past life, but you didn't have it correct in a past life. So they found you again in this life. And yes, the love, there is unconditional love, but it's because there's a soul, part of the soul family. But this person's coming in to teach you. So we have to say, teach us what and why. And Spirit says, well, we look to the inner wound chart, the inner child cards would show the root of the wound. And we pull sticks. We had a jumper. Magic. I like that because magic is actually your spiritual gifts. Magic is actually that spirit saying, hey, you have all the tools that you need to create the life and the abundance for yourself. However, you didn't see that. You weren't living that. Feel like you found your magic. And that's a good thing. And that will happen too. Like, again, if you really had love for somebody and really was like, wow, I really wanted to work the trauma of that. Like, this person was a jerk. This person lied. They betray. They only care about themselves. So they're a narcissist. Vulnerability, not allowed to be vulnerable. So vulnerability, it's again, not trusting to be vulnerable where we're allowed to be vulnerable, but we have to set boundaries, appropriate boundaries. We don't have to change ourselves. We have to change the way that we're dealing with a person. And really, I feel like because you were vulnerable, this person like saw it as weak. You were being vulnerable for them to make them comfortable. And that's how cocky this person is. And it's they played the game so many times that they didn't see that you were being really genuine. Trauma. And obviously the trauma, inner child wounds, where if you emotionally didn't get what you needed, that would be seen as trauma. If your parent wasn't there and maybe they had to work all the time, but you were home by yourself, that could even be seen as trauma, as abandonment. So it's psychological, it's emotional. For some, it could even be physical trauma. However, this trauma was activated by this person, like acting like you don't matter, that they were a person that had a deep connection to you, that to the point that you tried to make them feel comfortable. And what you saw was that it wasn't safe to be vulnerable around this person. And I feel like you grew up that way. You grew up with a parent that didn't make you feel safe emotionally and psychologically. Someone that made you feel unworthy, someone that made you feel not good about yourself. Again, act like they didn't care. So that pushed you into being very psychic, being able to again really tap into your emotions, when you're being emotionally intelligent, being spiritual, which is why you were waiting for this person to show you something emotionally, and why they were getting pissed off. And because they were trying to manipulate the situation without giving you anything emotionally. And so this person didn't understand what it was. Now here they are sitting in a different space. I feel like they're seeing you again differently. However, they're still not willing to do the work because of their pride and their ego. Because again, they still want you to contact them. And truth. So again, being a truth speaker, I feel like you're a highly sensitive person. I feel like you're an empath. Trauma will do that. When you again had the trauma from childhood that gave you your psychic abilities, well, it's again, you became a truth speaker. So you couldn't fake the funk with this person. That was actually a good thing. See your own, detector, like it went off. You were like, this, I can't trust this person. Person's like isn't a truth speaker like me. They're not. They're not the same as me. I have this connection to them, but they are not the same as me. I feel like you've done healing. Again, you're more emotionally evolved. That's why you were looking for that. But understand, you still needed it, but Spirit said you needed it to a point where you gave this person too much. You didn't actually see what they were doing. You weren't paying attention to what they were doing. You're paying more attention to the connection and to their little, act of being humble and vulnerable, and the facades that they created, the illusions that they created of who they pretend to be, but not really who they are. And that happens when we like somebody, we see what we want to see. And so Spirit said, that's why this person was a karmic, because again, they brought out that trauma. Again, whether it's a good connection or a bad connection, if it's a soul's connection, Spirit saying, I'm utilizing it to draw out what needs to be healed. So how many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pull 2 more. Organized chaos. So obviously, if we grew up with trauma, it's like life is chaos. It just is. And if your parent is not happy to the point where they're making you not feel loved and comforted as a child, well, then their own emotional issues would create a lot of chaos. Meaning any little problem, any little thing. And I feel like you became so highly sensitive to the needs of others because of the way that you were brought up. Again, your psychic ability comes from having to pay attention to that parent that was emotionally not stable. They would get angry and then they would go off. And so again, it's a survival mechanism. So it's that life, yeah, you not learned how to navigate it, but it was chaotic. And Spirit's saying, this person playing the cha-cha is again in your life coming in and out, is again, that's chaotic energy too. They're not allowing you to feel safe. They're not allowing you to feel comfortable within yourself. It's a way that they're trying to make you submit to what they want. But that didn't happen. Yeah, overwhelmed. So these were your inner child wound cards. Obviously, you would be overwhelmed if it was organized chaos. It's like, yeah, everything got done, but it was very chaotic. And it was chaotic because I was being raised by someone that was emotionally imbalanced. And so again, your behaviorisms are still like in paying attention so much to what's going on in your environment that you ignored what was best for you. And that's why this situation was karmic. And I feel like because emotionally you're like, well, I need that and I'm not going to be not true to myself. Because you did that, you weren't easily manipulated, and then this person exposed themselves. And that's why they're disappointed. They're disappointed because the jig is up. They really thought for sure you were going to be with them. They thought for sure, and they thought for sure that they were going to have to do absolutely nothing because, hey, you made me feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, what they say is, now that they're in a different space, they're saying this was a good connection that I screwed up, but I can't reach out to you because, I have a big ego, I got pride, and I don't really want to change everything, but I would love for you to reach out to me. And because that's normally what happens, people normally do reach out to me because they've invested, but you didn't invest because you found your magic. Like you said, all the tools that you needed to create your life, your own happy life. And Spirit said, and that's what this person helped you to do. It's like because they brought you back to that energy of childhood and you were like, oh, hell no. Hell no. I was born into a family where I inherited ancestral karma, but I don't have to relive that. I break that karmic cycle. And that's what you did. And that's why this person, understand they're the ones that gets to eat the karmic retribution. They're not happy now. Goodness, I overcome my imperfections. Which understand when you grow up in an environment that makes you feel not good enough because you weren't emotionally supported, you didn't have someone show up for you, whatever the reason, Spirit's saying, you overcome your imperfections and you polish your character, where you polished your character because you've done spiritual work. This person needs to polish their character because the character needs to be of unconditional love, not being a narcissist and feeling like, well, I can have my cake and eat it too. And well, you showed me how much you care, so I don't have to give you anything. I mean, and I know that we have a spiritual connection, but I'm going to use that for my benefit. That's bad character. That's one-sided, which that's why this person, again's life energy really isn't great. It says, feed on the positive aspects of your life and who you are. Thus, I free myself, allow my goodness to manifest and become a source of joy. Through gentleness, I offer unconditional support, understanding, and love to myself and others. So understand again, and this is what this is. It's that Spirit saying, however you were brought up with the trauma. Now, again, you found your gifts. Focus on the goodness that you can utilize with your gifts. And the gifts could be actually just you connecting deeply with other people, making them feel good. It could be your job. Again, but the answer is to give and receive of love. And that is, again, through your goodness, through your talents, your joys, your passions, your interests, things that stir up your soul, right? That's what Spirit says. And then what'll happen is you will again make a way where there is no way, that's just for you. That Spirit saying, this person was never really supposed to be in your life. This person who came into your life so that you would have seen the goodness that's inside of you. Again, because you clearly didn't see it because this person was undervaluing you and you kept giving them a chance. And the disappointment is that this person isn't who they say that they are. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. Now, again, I don't know if I mentioned, because again, I was channeling in the beginning, but if I didn't, join my wait list. If you're someone that is looking for shadow healing and wants to heal the effects of their trauma, join my wait list, because October 1st is a big reveal. I've been working on something huge for a really long time to help people heal. And like I said, the big reveal, it's free to sign up and you get a free information. So there's no cost, there's no weird emails, forwarded emails. We won't keep harassing you, nothing like that. But again, it's free to sign up. And if you're someone that's struggling with your relationships, with the career, whatever, join the wait list. I promise you, you'll get something out of it. Also, I don't know if I mentioned my favorite jewelry brand, but I'm going to at the end, if I didn't before, and that's Otter Spirit. And again, if you love crystal jewelry and if you're a healer or you need healing, then crystals usually are really something that is a really kind of easy way to incorporate your healing. Why? Because crystals represent psychological and emotional aspects of ourself. They represent emotional and psychological medicine. So when we need something, so if we're overly emotional, so I'll give you an example. This is the grief packet. And so what they gave me for the grief packet is rudenite, which is to open up your heart. Then they gave amethyst, which opens up your crown chakra, which connects you to your higher self, the God part of self, and your intuition. And then there's the black onyx that helps you stay grounded, that helps you, deal with your emotions. You're not as emotional when you're grounded because you're not in your head. So again, we want to open up our psychic abilities with the amethyst to see new opportunities, new situations to unfold, to replace the energy that's lost, right? I mean, that's pretty much why we do why we would want to incorporate like amethyst, grounding obviously with the emotions. And when we lose someone, it's easy to close our heart because the pain is so horrific that we feel like we can't get through. So it's almost like, oh, I don't never want to fall in love again, or I never want to like make another friend again, because the chance of losing that and experiencing that pain. But death is a part of life, and so sometimes we need a little extra tools to help us through. So again, I love this company because it's again in alignment with what I do, but they give $1 for every packet of bracelets that they sell, and the packet would be they come in threes, and they come for all different things, whatever you need. And so they give $1 to saving the otters. The otters were almost extinct in California, and they raised enough money for them not to be extinct anymore. And that's huge to me. That's in alignment completely with what I do, because I don't really like to pitch other people's shit, to be honest with you. But being that I am into crystals and it's for a good cause. Again, we don't want to see any more animals get extinct, especially if you're an empath. You wouldn't want that. So again, and they're really cool bracelets. So if you're interested, there's a 20% coupon in the description box below. All right, guys, I wanted to repeat those things because they're really important. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.